Gaur Krishna Priyatmane Rupanugagati Gyaya Gurudevaya Te Namah. Patit Pavan Param Karunamay Paramaradhyatam Shila Gurudev Nitya Leela Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Astottara Shatasri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj जी के श्रीपाद पद्म में असंख्य कोटि साष्टांग दंडवत प्रणाम करते हुए उनकी अहेतु की कृपा प्रार्थना करता हूँ। परमाराध्य शिक्षा गुरु नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद शिल भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोस्वामी महाराज जी एवं शिल भक्ति निकेतन तुर्याश्रमी गोस्वामी महाराज जी के श्रीपाद पद्म में असंख्य कोटि साष्टांग दंडवत प्रणाम करते हुए उनकी अहेतु की कृपा प्रार्थना करता हूँ। By the mercy of most revered Srila Gurudev, we are very fortunate that we got the chance to discuss about the transcendental glories of the holy name. This holy name is so special that it acts like a medicine for all those who are from the neophyte state of sadhana, who are in the neophyte state of sadhana, and to those who are in the bona fide state of sadhana. Our sadhana also progressing, when the sadhana is in the progressive state, so it progresses in different levels. So in the lowest level of devotion, from the lowest level of devotion till the highest realization of Godhead and His loving service, we can understand, and also we can see that there is no other process which is so conducive than this holy name to the devotees, like this holy name. The holy name is free from all kinds of restrictions. When we talk about the holy name, we have to understand that we are talking about the Lord Himself with no barriers. When the Lord Himself is in the form of a deity or in the form on His original form, actual form, then there is always a possibility of having some restrictions. But when the Lord Himself is in the form of holy name, then we can understand that it's completely free from all the restrictions, all the regulations. There are no regulations, there are no restrictions. The holy name is completely free. That's why it is said Nitya Mukta. It's eternally free. It's not bound to anything or any person, to any restriction, any rule or anything. And also the most easiest method is to chant this holy name. And also the most interesting part is that any person with any communal background or any sect or any age or any kinds of health conditions doesn't obstruct the person a person will never have to face any kinds of obstacles in chanting the holy name. He can easily adopt this holy name. And also for what? For the achievement of highest purpose of this human form of life. For the highest purpose of this human form of life. And for a neophyte person, this holy name is all accommodating, all attractive, and easy accessible. For whom? For the person, the one who is neophyte. Like a person who has no habit of making any worship or whatsoever it is, any other kinds of practices, there is no inclination, there is no taste, nothing. Because he is neophyte, he doesn't feel inspired to do anything. For such person also, the holy name is the better medicine, because the holy name demands no change, nothing. You just be the way you are, no problem, but just chant. As we keep on chanting the holy name, the holy name itself is so powerful that it starts to show its effect on the person who is trying to chant the holy name. And whatever changes are need to be done, everything can be easily seen happening. That is the speciality. That is the speciality. And what it is said, and for a person who is on advanced level of God realization, for him this holy name is life-giving factor. In fact, it's life itself. The holy name is life itself. And we can see when Haridas Thakur, Srila Haridas Thakur, when he came to know that now his physical condition, the physical condition of his body is not so supporting, it's not so supportive. So that's why he is taking very long time to chant the holy name, and that too still he is unable to complete the number of rounds he chants. So he felt so stressed, he felt so painful from his heart that he is unable to complete the number of rounds. And now he decided to depart from this mortal world. He just decided to give up his life and requested Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to allow him to leave this world even before Mahaprabhu leaves. Why? Because the holy name is the life, and when the life is not healthy, then what is the point of keeping this body anymore? We can see, like many people, those who are sick, mentally sick and physically sick, such people, they lose their hope in the life because they doesn't want to survive in that condition. Because what they understand to be life is no more giving pleasure to them. It's no more giving pleasure to them. So that's why they doesn't want to survive after that. In the same way, for the pure devotees, the one whose life and soul is engaged only in the service of the holy name and the Lord and the divine couple, when finds some obstacles in his path, if he finds some obstacles, hindrances in his path, then he feels that his life is being taken away from him. So, the divine name of the Lord strikes at a very root of terrible sufferings of these repeated cycles of births and death. It's a repeated cycle. Jatasya dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. If you have taken birth, then you have to make sure that you understand that one day you will have to die. No one is going to remain forever in this mortal world. And also the person who has died needs to understand that again one day he will be taking birth. How long this circle will continue, this cycle of births and deaths will definitely continue till we attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So that's why the holy name, it helps, it strikes on the root of this suffering. As long as we try to cut the upper portion of the tree, because the roots are rooted inside the ground. So as a result, after a while again it starts to sprout. So what we have to do is we have to completely uproot the tree. So we have to completely uproot these terrible sufferings of birth and death. How we can do that? Only by taking the shelter in the lotus feet of the holy name. What is happening now? No mortal can arrest its motion. This motion means the rotation, the cycle of this birth and death can't be controlled by any person who is mortal. We have to be immortal. Something which is immortal can only control, because mortal means perishable. Mortal means created. What is not created by anyone and the one which is never perished is the thing which is actually considered as immortal. So mortal things can never arrest, means control, this repeated cycles of birth and death. One who is born is destined to die, and vice versa. If a person is born, means he has to die. So that's why it's vice versa. If a person is died, then he has to take birth again. He has to take birth again. It is allotted to all to die. So now, for those who have taken birth, death, it's an inevitable it's an inevitable thing, what? That for those who have taken birth, death also is assigned along with their bodies, whether it be at this moment or at the end of the century. Death is indeed a definite and inevitable phenomenon. We have to understand this. As sure as death, death is inevitable. We can't escape from death. Death is the truth which comes, and we have to face it. We have no alternative. We can't escape death. Death, as it must come, comes to all. There is no one who can escape death. Everyone has to die. Though the world is flooded with wonderful inventions, there is not a single one so far devised by any human genius to stop this unpleasant cyclic movements revolving ceaselessly. and this book was published in 1950 by one of the beloved disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, and also he was one of the close friends of Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Goswami Maharaj, also Param Pujyapa Srila Raghav Chaitanya Das Prabhuji. He has written this book glorifying the holy name in 1950, and that time he says when the mobile phones were not even invented, no WhatsApp, no Facebook, nothing was there, no social media was that active. That time he is saying we have so many wonderful inventions, but still we could not have, there is no such invention which can control death. People, what they are doing today, they have progressed to the level where they can prolong death. But that is also their ignorance, thinking that we can prolong death. We can never prolong death. We all are destined to be in this world as long till the number of breaths which are allotted to us. If the first breath we take when we come out of the womb of our mother, and the last breath we take before we leave this world, in between this birth, disease, old age and death, all these four things are fixed. But our life is from the first breath to the last breath. That's why it is said, Nishvaso naiva vishvaso kadaruddo bhavishyasi. There is no trust. We can't trust this. How long we will survive, how we will survive, what will be our condition of life, nothing can be trusted. Nothing can be trusted. So what it is said, so far there is not even single invention which can stop this unpleasant cyclic movements. It's not pleasant, birth is not pleasant, death is not pleasant, but there is no such invention. And we can see, people may say, no, we have progressed, we have technologically we have advanced so much. But the fact is totally different. We can see that one small bacteria, a very small amount of bacteria has shaken the world, in fact collapsed the economy of the world. And people could not find medicine, some vaccine for this virus, which is very famously known as COVID-19, coronavirus. And we could not still find a proper vaccine for this. There is no cure, only some prevention. What is that? Drink this, drink hot water, drink some herbal tea, like these are the things, that's all. This is also only prevention. Take steam, all those things. Quarantine yourself, all these things are precautions. But there is no cure yet. We could not progress so much, we could not progress that we can have control on something new even. What to talk of having control on death? By its marvelous inventions, scientists may boast that they have conquered nature itself. Scientists are like Hiranyakashipus. Like when they have some power, when they have the capacity, when they have some talent, they start to think that we are God. Like these doctors, actually so many patients, they die in their practice, but still doctors consider themselves to be God. Interesting is that God treats the patients with the package. in the hospitals they have these packages, and the treatment is done based on the amount of money you have. Many the places, not everywhere, in every field we find some good people, but unfortunately people are so conditioned that they can't find good people only in spiritual paths, especially in the path of Vedic spirituality. People can't find, but those who have some knowledge, those who have gone through various scriptures and associated with different people and personalities, they definitely understand that in this world there are so many such personalities who are very special, spiritual personalities. There are some, definitely for sure, in every field. If we talk about education, there are some people, those who are not genuine. There are some people, those who are not genuine in every department, because we won't get perfect number in any field, any area. So anyhow, those whoever are perfect or imperfect, whatever, when a person sees the doctor, he sees them like a god. And they also start to feel themselves like God. But the actual God by whose potency we all are able to breathe, we all are able to survive. But people are so mean that they are completely thankless towards that eternal God, that supreme personality of Godhead. That is the most fallen condition of this world today. You are unable to breathe and a person takes money and try to help you, and not sure whether he will be able to do it or not, but still if you survive, you would immediately catch his feet. But so shameless people in this world that they don't have the heart to surrender to the Lord, that, oh Lord, without demanding any money. When we are put in an artificial breathing system, what happens? It's so painful that they pull your neck like this and then try to insert a pipe inside your windpipe. And then when they first, while doing this, there is a possibility that the patient may break his teeth. It's not so easy, it's a very complicated issue, because the person is unable to breathe, so his body is not in a relaxed state. I still remember an incident, it happened in 1999 when I used to live in Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, Chandigarh branch. At that time, one of our brahmacharis from Dehradun Math had cancer, so he was admitted in the emergency ward of Chandigarh Hospital, Postgraduate Institute. It's PGI, they call it as PGI, Chandigarh. And now, what happens there, he was admitted in the emergency ward. So I was just sitting next to him and waiting for the doctor to come. To my surprise, on the next bed, I see one person who is unable to breathe. When he was unable to breathe, what happened, that one nurse came and sat on his chest. Two were holding the hands. One is holding the neck and one is holding the feet. How many? 3, 4, 5 people are holding the person like this, and the 6th person is trying to insert this ventilator pipe into his body. And so painful it is. The person is unable to breathe, and even painful is to put some artificial support system to help the person, but still there is no possibility of surviving of the patient. It was first time in my life where I saw at least more than 50 people died in front of my eyes in a couple of hours because of the treatment. Improper treatment, or because the treatment is not supporting the body. The body is not accepting the treatment. Imagine 50 people in one big hall, one by one someone is dying because of emergency heart problem, someone is dying because of this breathing problem, someone is dying because of some other problem, cancer, tumor, so many people. They die and outside people are waiting, they pull them out and they put fresh ones inside. Once there is hardly a possibility, very few people survive from this critical emergency ward of this medical institute. Like that. But still, if they survive, they catch the feet of the doctor, even though it's a huge amount of money needs to be paid for surviving. Huge amount of money needs to be paid for surviving. Not so easy for the medicines, injections, treatment, and the nurse and the bed. Each and everything is charged. But the Lord is so merciful, not even charging anything, and at the same time He is not even presenting Himself in front. He is not coming in the front line to prove, to show the world that because of me you survived today. And the people with no common sense never understands this. They think that they are my saviors, but the truth is the Lord is the savior. No one can save, only the God can save. Only the God can save. No one else can save. Many the times people have made fun of the Lord and His creation, and what resulted is only destruction. Because it's not that the Lord has destructed, it's our overconfidence, our ignorance, and our arrogance. Only these things have finally destructed our life completely. So these scientists, they think that actually we have conquered the nature, because they can create any fruits in any season. Any fruits can be created in any season now, and they can be made in any shapes, any colors, any flavors, everything. That's so special about the advancement of science today. You don't need to wait the fruits to ripe on the tree. You just need to, you can pluck them raw and then put them in certain chemicals where slowly the fruit gets ripened. So these people, they think that we are very intelligent, very clever. We can mold the nature according to our requirement. But they forget one very essential thing. You may create things, but from where you will implant life. That's why we can see there are so many hybrid vegetables, tomatoes, so many vegetables, fruits, everything are available in the market. But it's like a piece of rubber, you are chewing it. Just few days back on Ekadashi, I got this papaya for eating. It's like a piece of rubber chewing. No taste. And some time ago got muskmelon to eat, and then there is no taste. There is no taste, there is no minerals, nothing is available these days. What advancement we have done? We are only eating the upper cover, but there is no life. Earlier in papaya there used to be many seeds. Today when this papaya fruit we see, we hardly find any seeds inside, and if there are seeds, still they are lifeless. If we see some seeds, then also we see that actually they are lifeless. There is no life. Scientists, they can create matter, but they can't create life. Life can't be created. Life is natural thing that is manifesting, that is coming out only from the transcendental body of the Supreme Lord. But it's not possible for the life to be created in some laboratories. They can create some matter, they can create some lump, but actually life can't be created. Life is not in the control of any mortal people. So it's like a childish act which they are performing. If we see that this science, this modern science, people, they have this pride that we are scientists. We are in the modern life, new age life. What is this new age? What is this modern technology? Nothing. Now there are some problems going on around the world about this 5G networking, because it's so dangerous that the moment that network comes, life becomes miserable. So they have advanced so much, but interestingly result is only death. Before 20 years back, people used to live a healthy life, have good memory and nice food. I still remember when I was small, I used to eat ghee in my home, in my parents' home, not my home, my parents' home. And it was natural, with nice flavor, nice fragrance, everything. And today, if you go and try to get some ghee in the market, it's impossible to taste it. And especially once you go to West Bengal and see this ghee in Kolkata and Mayapur, other places which they use, it's the color of the ghee is also black, like some fuel gas. And they have some other kinds of ghees in different places. In the same way, vegetables, everything. That's why people are today again trying to switch back to an organic lifestyle. They are sick of eating these chemicals. So they are sick of eating these pesticides. So now they are trying very hard to switch themselves to the lifestyle which is organic. Earlier people have no interest in eating organic food. But now they are spending more money only to get this organic food. That's why many places people, they sell these organic stuff, because they know the other food which they are consuming has no life. There is no life in the other food. So this modern science, in the name of technology, if we keep on watching these mobile phones or the computer screens, You can see after that you have to wear glasses like this, big size glasses with anti-glare, with Blu-ray protection, scratch proof, this, that, all those things. Because no option. Without glasses you see nothing at one point. And not only this, while watching the mobile screen or the computer screen for a long time, it spoils the eyes and the nerve system, and not only that, it also spoils our ability to remember, our memory. Brain also like stops functioning. Earlier, children are taught to count. Like if they have to count the numbers. Children used to sit and then count and all those things. After the calculator has appeared, it has become so easy, the counting has become so easy. As a result, children don't need to count. Now if we ask someone all of a sudden, how much is 33 and 40, they, in a short, they are unable to answer. Because they have reduced the brain's activity. The brain is not that active like before. That's why we can see the old people, they have good memory than the people of younger generation today, because they are fully trapped in the name of technology. In the earlier days, women used to wash clothes by herself. So that's why they have strong hands, they have strong body, they have strong energy. Today, because they use washing machines, they don't need to dry, they don't need to wash, they don't need to rinse, nothing, squeeze, nothing. And the hands of the woman or man whatsoever, they have become so soft. It's not possible. So technology is advancing, but the life is collapsing. Technology is advancing, no doubt, but slowly the life is collapsing. The values are collapsing, finish. Life is becoming completely useless in the name of this modern science. So that's why this modern science is not helping anyone anymore. So that's why here it is said, we have problems since time immemorial. So all those problems which the humanity is facing since time immemorial, can we ever imagine that this modern science has some solution for those problems? We are only moving along the flow and feel ourselves happy with the advancement of technology. But when we talk about the result, then we understand that nothing improved, only the quality of life has been, there is a huge downfall in the quality of life. There is no quality. Why? You have nice mobile phones, wide TV screens, and nice amplifiers and speakers. So many things are available today. Then what happened? Ultimately, at one point, we realized the fact that all these things are not going to make us happy. What really makes us happy is something else. What is that something else? True spiritual practice, God realization. God realization is the one which really makes us happy. Nothing else can make us happy in this world. So what it is said, did the human brain invent any device by which man can know the actual time? It said that just check yourself, that you think that this human brain could ever create a kind of instruments, a kind of parameters which can let the person know at what time and where, how the person is going to say final goodbye to his family and friends. That is also not possible. No one knows. We all know that as sure as death, death is inevitable, but no one knows when we are going to die, how we are going to die. That also we don't know. Anything can happen at any moment. Most revered Srila Guru Maharaj always used to say this, that anything can happen to us at any moment. So don't waste your time. Time is valuable, time is precious. Don't waste it. What to do then? Utilize it in the service of Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan. Engage your life only in the service of Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan. Engage your life in the chanting of the holy name. Surrender to the holy name. You develop faith on all those non-eternal things. You develop faith on this modern science, modern technology, which is only pushing you away from your real identity, which is only pushing you away from the God civilization, which is only developing a kind of ignorance within your heart that you can do it. There are people, they believe just do it, we can do it, like that. But nothing can happen, nothing can be done. The reason is because we don't have that capability. Slowly, slowly our body is becoming weak, slowly, slowly our brain is becoming weak, slowly, slowly our mind is becoming weak. We can see, if we can compare ourselves with the generation which was 20 years ago, we can clearly understand they used to depend on relations, and we are depending on technology. If for few minutes, if the electricity is broken, we can understand that actually our life is broken completely after that. It's very difficult. It's not so easy. Earlier days, even though for quite few days, if there is no electricity, people would survive. If the bathrooms are very far, then also people would happily go there. Today, even in the attached bathrooms, we have problems. And people have progressed so nicely that they even have problems in passing stool. If the toilet is like normal, that if you have to sit, then you can't stand, so that's a problem. You need Western commode, because so that your knees are not paining. People started depending on these commode also. They have come down to that level in the name of advanced technology. They are completely dependent on the flesh and the commode even. What to talk of bigger things. People are depending on so many such things. But nothing could help the person at least to come out from this adrenal condition of life, most miserable condition of life. They are so conditioned, they are only suffering but finds no results. So what it is said, they think that they are controlling the nature, but it's not true. They can't control nature. No one can control nature. Nature is controlling the whole world, the whole creation. Everything is in the nature. If the nature is disturbed, and the result becomes very dangerous. What is the progress we have done? We have only advanced in the name of technology, that we started preparing poison. Not just soft poison, gentle poison, it's most dreadful, dangerous poison in the name of these huge LCD lights. These LCD lights which are directly falling on our body is so dangerous that it affects, the light goes inside the body and it affects the bone. It makes the bone weak. Earlier days the light used to be yellow color, and also because it consumes more energy. So that's why people would not like to use those lights. And they have gone to an advanced level of creating a kind of lights, CFL, LED, all those lights. So anyhow, a category of lights, when it falls on the body, it goes inside the body. As long as it comes in contact with the body and starts to make the bones weak. But even the lights are also very harmful weapon. The plastic we use, the thermocol plates we are using, they appear so beautiful. These aluminum foils we are using, everything we are using today in the advanced in name of technology, everything is poison itself. Earlier days people would use leaf plates, leaf cups, earthen pots, all those things. And according to the today's generation and also so-called intellectuals, all these things appear to be like primitive, villager or uneducated. But if we see our ancient culture, our Vedic culture, and the people, those who are the followers of this Vedic culture, are the ones who are truly educated, really educated. That's why they lived quality life. What is the purpose of your education if you can't have a quality life? If you can't live a quality life, if you can't live a happy life, you are educated, very nice, and then you get hired in a big company, in some corporate sector, and then you will be having your own laptop, computer, house, car, everything. But what is the use? The huge stress is also there on the head. As a result, as the person keeps on working day and night and try to earn more and more money, only to pay that money to the doctors. Why? At one point, because of the excessive usage of computers, of the keyboard, your fingers stop functioning. At one point, your visibility becomes weak and you can't even see things properly. Your retina is affected, your nerve system is affected, everything is affected. Along with that, the loss of memory is also there. And at one point, you will die. What is the use? Where this technology is taking the world? We should have the technology. We should have this technology. We can't say that we don't want technology. We need it because technology is very useful. But unnecessary usage of technology, unnecessary usage of any such resources are ultimately going to take us to self-destruction only. And what is the use? It can't even help you know when you are going to die, when you are going to say goodbye to your people. There are many times when people suddenly passes away And there are many such people, they don't even get the chance to see the final rites, to attend the final rites, because of so many reasons. People stay, or sometimes people, they live in other countries, all of a sudden how they can come back? Not possible. And sometimes tickets are so expensive that you can't afford. Sometimes you don't get leave, so many problems. But no one could make any kind of preparation or plan that when they are exactly leaving. At least that so-called technology which has advanced also can't even help the person know when they are exactly leaving. That's our advancement. And again we get boosted that we are someone who has controlled the nature. We know everything, we can do everything. That is the modern science and modern technology. And now what it is said, many powerful brains credited with astounding inventions or discoveries had to meet with tragic ends in unknown lands which unfortunately they could not foresee. Like we can see that many experiments which are done in the satellites, orbits, everywhere, or in any field. Like recently one person, I read in the news that one person on whom they are making these trials of for the vaccine of COVID-19 passes away. What to do? So they make so many experiments. And spend huge amount of resources. But ultimately what happens? Even though they are highly intellectual people, they have big brains, everything, and then so many inventions, those who have done, but still they have to meet with tragic ends. And in which area, that also not known. So every experiment is a new, and every experiment is a new trial. We never know what's going to happen. We never know what will be the result. And also they could not foresee. If they could foresee, then they could control themselves. Many times these rockets which are released in the orbit fails, and then they fall in the sea. Like that. So who can control this? Because the topic has started about controlling. Controlling what? Controlling the repeated cycles of birth and death. Who can control this? Technology? Not possible. Some human mind? Not possible. Or the brain? Not possible. Then who can control this? It is said it is in the hands of the Almighty God, no one else. So the credit goes to Him. The credit goes to Him. No one can take the credit. The credit should be given to the God, because He is the one. If He desires, He can control everything. He can say full stop. He can put full stop to everything. So the credit has to go to Him only, because He says everything is happening because of my desire, because of my control, everything under me only. If someone thinks that they can do something, it's only their ignorance. But the fact is, everything whatsoever is happening is all because of me and my own desire and will. Like that. What the Lord says, Mattah sarvam pravartate. Whatever is being organized, whatever is being done, everything is happening only because of me only. If I am not involved, nothing could change, nothing could happen. not to any proud conditioned soul who out of sheer foolishness feels. So we have to be thankful to the God, not to a conditioned soul, not to a fallen person who out of his ignorance starts thinking. It's because of his ignorance he keeps on thinking that I am the one who is special, but actually he is foolish. That he doesn't want to give any credit to the Lord. People wants to take advantage from the Lord. People wants to take all the privileges from the nature and use it in their experiments. People wants to take all the resources from the nature to survive, but they don't want to thank God. They always try to thank other people, those who are good for nothing. But in actual sense, it is said only the Lord can help, no one else can help. So we shall discuss the remaining thing tomorrow. Thank you very much. Jai Radhe Shyam.